aware that.
Would you like to go get a drink? Would you like to meet for appetizers?
Nice.
Do you want to da-da-da? They'll push the button to see how far can I take it. I know he's married, but if he's going to go for it, that ain't my fault. That's how women are. Not my fault. If he all he had to do was say no. But you got a piece of steak dangling in front of a big ass bear.
I don't eat meat.
You know the metaphor, what I'm talking about.
I'm just saying, I don't eat meat, so that wouldn't appeal to me.
Whatever.
A pescatarian.
So a piece of salmon or some sushi?
Fish, some sushi, or maybe a nice ripe banana, some grapes.
Oh, God.
That might have been appealing to me, but I don't eat meat or pork or chicken or turkey even.
Okay. You're taking it too far, but
I'm just saying, let's be clear and specific.
Okay, so somebody dangling some grapes in front of you, you might want to pick a grape.
Just depends on what kind of grapes those are. Are they green grapes? Are they in season? Are they the nice?
They're the ones you like.
Ooh.
So just grab a hold of my hand and do it till the morning comes. After I do.
That's right, these hoes ain't loyal. Oh my God. Okay, can we talk about the fact that your ex still has the audacity to call and ask to borrow money? And you lend it to her.
We can talk about it. What is it that you
First of all, we can talk about it, but you didn't talk about it. You lent the money.
I lent the money.
And I went in his car. I don't even know what for.
I borrowed my car.
And looked in the console. I was looking for something and saw the return check from said ex sitting in the console that he...
It's a good sign. She sent the money back. She
that's
paid
not
the money
point.
back.
That is not the point. How come
What's
you
the
did
point?
not come to me and ask me how I felt about it? Because I
Why
felt
do
some
I have
sort
to come to you and ask you
because
how you
it's
felt
our
about
money.
it? No, that
I
wasn't
don't
our
care if it's
money.
5
That was my
cents.
money.
No, it's not your money.
Okay.
You don't have no money.
No, I do have money.
No,
what are you talking about?
We have money.
No,
not
yes,
you,
yes,
not me.
We have money.
We have money.
We have money, and I have money.
No. Everything that you have is mine. So a simple, hey, babe, how do you feel about it? You know, she hit a rough patch. Whatever the case may be, her relative is sick. She has to fly back. Emergency.
I honestly don't
think,
even know if I got that money back, to be honest.
Well, first of all, he did it twice.
Whoa, twice? Who was the second?
You had the same chick.
Nah, I think that was a one loan situation. But the reality is, in hindsight, I have not heard from her since. So that may be a good thing.
Well, you know why you didn't hear from her?
Why?
Because I texted her and said, do stop asking my husband to borrow money.
Okay, good. You did your part.
Yeah, I did my part, but I don't feel like
we're talking about real money, though. That little bit of money you be talking about. It's not the point, babe.
Like, you know I'm all about the principle. I don't care if it was 5 cents. The principle for me is there is an order when you're married to me. Or in our marriage, I don't know about anybody else's marriage, but our marriage, I like to be open and up front.
You have an open marriage now?
So no, we don't. Don't try.
What? Here's the question. In the future, how would you like me to approach situations where I lend my ex-hoes money?
Well, first of all, they shouldn't be calling. But if someone did call, and I understand, trust me, I'm not that evil. Something happens, I know you well enough that nothing's going on with you and any of your exes. So here's the thing. An emergency, you are broke down on the 405, somebody passed away, you need help with an airline ticket. I have a heart. But here's the thing, you have to let me know.
Here's the thing 2 times.
Because when I find out after the fact, I feel some sort of way, like they're sneaking, you're not being forthright. Like, I need to know. And that would make me feel comfortable, because in this relationship, I have to make you feel comfortable. I think you should.
It's more than a relationship. This is a marriage.
It's a marriage.
Last time I checked, it was a marriage.
We're married.
Okay.
Correct. So not a relationship. We are married. So therefore, you don't have to do everything in life to make me feel good. But in this case of an ex coming for money, first of all, calling you, asking, whatever, I think the next response is, if you don't have a problem, like I don't have a problem with it, but I need to check
Let me check with April.
Correct. That should always be known. The quick yes, okay, well, he said yes the first time, now he comes back, but letting them know, hey, I don't have a problem with this, but I'm gonna be upfront with my partner, my significant other, my wife, and make sure she's cool with it. And basically, it has to be a joint yes. It has to be something that she agrees
it's a discussion.
With.
I don't disagree with that.
But it was weird to find the check and
you wasn't supposed to find the check. That's the problem.
But see, that's the sneaky part.
No, it's not the sneaky part.
Here's the thing: we have.
I honestly didn't feel like I was being sneaky at the time, so it wasn't even a big deal to me. It's like you just happened to find the whatever the receipt for
right.
was.
And I will say, I don't think you were being sneaky. I just think that you're very open and caring person, and you felt like there was no harm, and there wasn't a big thing about it.
It wasn't like it was 1,000 or 2,000. No, it wasn't even.
But I still would appreciate.
I
knowing
understand.
It rather than
in
not
hindsight knowing. that should have been a conversation.
Right. That's all I'm saying.
That's fair. I can't even argue against that because again, for me, most of the time, I'm kind of moving so fast that it's not like I'm not considering you, but in a situation like that, especially if it's dealing with money, I should consider you.
Yeah. That's all I'm saying, because we have, and here's the thing, women, we think differently. I know I do, because we were in a similar situation where Royale was trying to fund a project early in our marriage, and he needed a significant amount of money. I think it might have been Bonafide and Too Sweet. Whatever it was, you needed a large amount of money. And the only person that I knew that had that type of capital laying around was my ex. And I went to Royale, as I would have appreciated the same type of courtesy.
Yeah,
and I said, my ex has this much money.
How you know how much? I always wonder, how do you know?
I know he was loaded. He had this amount of money, and if you're comfortable, maybe we should ask him, because now he is married. So it had to be a joint venture between the four of us, because Royale was okay with asking for the money. Then my ex had to then ask his wife, and she was okay with the money, and the money was, given to us. But legally, we had writing. We knew
legally.
We wrote.
Oh yeah, okay. You said that like the money I gave to my ex was illegally.
No, but I'm saying it was documented. There was a paper trail, because it was a lot of money, and we wrote it out. We told them it was between 6 and 12 months we would pay it back in full.
These people think it was $1 million.
It was like 20 grand. What are you talking about? That is a lot of money for an ex to be giving an ex.
Did we give it back?
Yes, we gave it back.
Okay, that's all that matters.
We gave it back on the dot, no strings attached. Like, we gave it back when we said we knew we were getting money, but we needed money at the time for the project. So he gave us the money, we wrote it up, but it was done properly. And so I say that to say, because you said you made a comment that acting like yours was sneaking, but in my head, I wasn't
acting like mine was sneaking. What do you mean?
You made a comment that, yes, I did it the right way, meaning that you didn't do it the right way. But I'm built differently. That
I'm going to go back and watch this, because I don't think I said I did it the wrong way.
No.
What I said was, let's do the thing where you go back and
what I'm saying, because when I said I did it the right way,
I should have involved you in the conversation, is what I said.
But what I'm trying to get at is when I started mine about asking my ex, I said I did it the right way.
You had,
and then you said, I didn't do it the wrong way. I'm not saying that. I'm saying we're wired differently. I look at the bigger picture and I forecast. I don't want any problems. So I go, how would he think about if I ask for this large amount of money and he says yes, and why is he giving you? I think about all of that before I even put you in a situation where you're uncomfortable, where you look at stuff in the moment and you don't take me for granted sometimes. You just go,
no, I don't take you in consideration.
In consideration, yeah, you don't think about the after effect, the is she going to be upset, or the outcome, where I analyze as a woman, or just for me, I'm going to say for me, I don't know if everybody does, I analyze every step of it, And I think for your shoes, my shoes, the family, how would that look? And I don't think you do the same. And I can say honestly, I don't think men look at stuff like that the way we do, because we never want to put anything in jeopardy. So we're kind of like, we're men, y'all so loosey-goose. I don't see nothing wrong with it. Like, so money is one thing, but it can segue into a lot of different things. That's just
Name one.
Really?
I'm just asking. You said
just listening to, like, his ex will call. One needed a car. Wanted his advice on what car. She wasn't even an ex. She was just somebody. Like, I don't want to get into a bunch of stuff, but Royale is any damsel in distress. He will sit and listen to.
I'm a rest haven for hoes in distress.
That has been our biggest problem.
All my exes love me.
Too comfortable with listening to other women's issues, problems, whatever.
But let's be clear. I am typically a very giving person, regardless of your gender. Like,
no, you are.
So it's not. It's not female specific.
I will give you that.
Because
that's true.
I can point to 3 men that have had me on the phone for so many damn conversations, and I hope they don't see this and feel no kind of way.
Well, they don't even know who you're talking about. But
no, I'm saying if the men, trust me, they'll know who I'm talking about. But it's all love. It's like I know what it means to give your time to somebody in need. Sometimes it's an ear, sometimes it's a few dollars, sometimes it's a hug. And I also recognize now, again, in hindsight, that you have to use a little bit of discernment in these situations, because where I have very clearly stated that it's not gender specific, you have to be wise and be careful, because again, when you're in a marriage, you have to be respectful, and I don't ever want to put April in a situation where she feels some kind of way or feel like I'm giving a female preferential treatment for the purpose of something. Like, just the optics of things, how things look can be misconstrued. But, a lot of this stuff for me ain't even that serious, to be honest.
I know. We walk a fine line with that, because he has his definition of what that fine line is, and I have mine. And every now and then he crosses it. It may not be intentional. It could be honest, very, I guess honest.
No, but people are going to somebody could hear this and say, he has his definition in crossing the line. Every now and then he crosses it. You have to clarify that.
Well, I mean, when Prince died, there was a female that liked Prince, and then I don't even know how he got his number, but then she got his number, but calling to talk about Prince. No.
Prince fans want to talk about Prince.
No, it's sometimes.
Who doesn't want to talk about Prince?
Sometimes it's really, really ridiculous, but it happens, whether it's his Google phone number or it's his real phone number.
How you know about my Google number?
It's just like a fine line sometimes, and I don't think he understands. I think he's got it now, but we're talking about, I don't know when Prince passed away, 2-3 years ago. But it's still little things like that, I don't know. I think it's better. I think he understands.
You think it's better?
I have no red flags. I don't have anything to point at the moment.
Okay,
I'm just
then
saying,
what does that say to you? If you don't have anything to point to?
But here's the thing. It's not that I don't care. It's just, if it doesn't slap me in the face, I don't care. So if I'm laying in the bed at 1:00 in the morning and the phone ring and it's somebody talking about Prince, then there's a red flag.
Yeah, that's a problem.
But other than that, I'm not looking for anything. I'm living my life. It is what it is.
Wait, what?
I'm just saying, I'm not
It
snooping.
is what it is. Okay,
nobody's snooping. Nobody's,
I don't give you a reason to snoop.
No, exactly. I'm just saying, if it's not like boom, boom, then everything is good until, or hopefully never, I find something out that we're good. But I'm just saying, we think about all of this to say, I think we handle situations way different, whether it's lending out money, being an ear for someone else, or the stuff online. It's just, we handle things differently, and I I voice my opinion. He makes his adjustments, and we just, we keep it moving.
I think all of it is a process of learning and growing and maturing. I think you come into these relationships, and the relationships escalate and become marriages, and you build families, and a lot of who you were, right, butts up against who you need to be.
Right.
And I think that gray area is the area where, again, a lot of us have to mature and kind of distance ourselves from old ways, old habits. It's a whole lot of different. It's complex, but it certainly isn't as simple as a lot of people make it out to be. But I also am clear that a lot of this stuff is a bunch of nothing that gets misinterpreted as something just because of how the universe kind of interprets and misinterprets male-female relationships. The young lady just talking about with the Prince thing is like, never had anything with her. There was nothing that... Again, I think some people, you engage people and you build these friendships or relationships, and because it's a female and you're a male, especially if you're married, then they tend to fall under the microscope a certain way.
Yeah.
And
because you just have to be careful. I know Royale will get mad at me sometimes, like, but you know me. And of course I know you, but I'm a woman, so I know women. And that's what I think sometimes he gets really upset, like, you trust me, da 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 da. And I'm like, yeah, your motive may be sweet and pure and innocent, but the other person's might not. So all I'm asking you is take it like that.
Yeah,
it may not be
what you think.
So just be ready in case.
I also am aware that.
Would you like to go get a drink? Would you like to meet for appetizers?
Nice.
Do you want to da da da? They'll push the button to see how far can I take it. I know he's married, but if he's gonna go for it, that ain't my fault. That's how women are. Not my fault. If he all he had to do was say no. But you got a piece of steak dangling in front of a big ass bear.
I don't eat meat.
You know the metaphor, what I'm talking about.
I'm just saying, I don't eat meat, so that doesn't appeal to me.
Whatever.
I'm a pescatarian.
So a piece of salmon or some sushi?
Fish, some sushi, or maybe a nice ripe banana, some grapes.
Oh, God.
That might have been appealing to me, but I don't eat meat or pork or chicken or turkey even.
Okay. You're taking it too far, but
I'm just saying, let's be clear and specific.
Okay, so somebody dangling some grapes in front of you, you might want to pick a grape.
Just depends on what kind of grapes those are. Are they green grapes? Are they in season? Are they the nice?
They're the ones you like.
Ooh. No, but I get it. You know what I mean? Because again, you used to date Slick Royale, who was, sometimes up to no good or may have had bad intentions.
Sometimes.
Yeah, Slick Royale, that dude.
He's a hot mess.
Slick Royale was a hot mess. So, but
You Slick Roy Jr. now.
No, I'm not Slick Roy Jr. It's like, I don't have time for none of this silliness.
Okay.
Come a long way. But again, I think all of it is a process of growth, maturity, and learning, and so here we are.
Yeah, so hopefully, if you've gone through this situation, or it may come up in the future, I would just suggest being open and honest from the very beginning, because there are going to be some times, whether you're married or dating, where you may need something from your ex, but you're in a long-time relationship with someone else. I think honesty is the best policy, because the person that doesn't know what's going on will feel some sort of way. It's just you're human, and then the question becomes, well, why didn't you tell me? If it's not that big of a deal, then why didn't you tell me? Then you have to answer that question, and you're going to be, it just doesn't feel good. Just be honest, and you're grown. So if it's a situation where you have to borrow the money or whatever, you have to say, hey, this is going down. You don't have it. I need to borrow this money. there's nothing going on, but I want to inform you and I want to be upfront. You can say it that way, or you can ask the question: would you have a problem? Because if you say no, then I'm not going to borrow it.
But you know what?
Just be honest.
You say honesty is the best policy, and I say, you have to use discernment. I honestly think a lot of people, like, I'm fortunate. Like, I'm in a marriage where, me, I'm just going to say whatever I need to say regardless. At this point, I just have come to the realization that life is too short. Mm-hmm. I would much rather tell you exactly what's on my mind or what I'm thinking, what I need. If you say no, you say no. I tell you all the time, oh, I want to sleep with this girl, or I think this girl is sexy. We should have sex with her. Or I should, all right. If you say no to it, what can I do?
No.
I'm not going to. It
and
is what it is.
Be no.
Hey, if that's what it is, but at least I'm in a space where I can say this is what I'm thinking. But a lot of people are in marriages and relationships where they don't have the ability to be kind of open and honest with the person that they're married to. I know some women, because I've seen it in the inbox with questions and some of the comments, is like, I don't enjoy having sex with my husband, right? There's somebody at work I would much rather, that excites me way more than the person. So women are having these conversations. You think they feel comfortable going to their man and saying, look, sexually, you don't turn me on, or you don't do it for me, and it's somebody else that does?
Well, that's lust. So that's a whole nother. Well, the person really wouldn't know. They're assuming they're going to be in a better space having sex with the coworker, unless she has already tested it. It's right now, it's an attraction. It's lust. It's nothing to do with the actual act. It's because maybe they are in a relationship that is stagnant and it's boring, and you think, ooh, if I could just jump his bones, that would be a whole, I think I would enjoy it a lot more. It's the fantasy in your head. It's the lust. It's the thing that gets a lot of couples in trouble, because basically you're going to have that fling and find out after 2 or 3 months, okay, I'm over it. Do you move on to somebody else, or do you stay with your husband? Like, it's just a fantasy. So you have to be very, very careful.
But what do you
about
mean when you say it's
fantasy.
just a fantasy? What do you
It's
mean
a fantasy. If she's not being fulfilled at home, and you see this strapping, handsome fella at work, and you're sitting there and you daydreaming like, oh, I would do him like this, or I bet you he could do it like that. You don't know what he got. You don't know how big he is. You don't know what his sex game is. It's just a fantasy. And fantasies are the root of all evil. You don't know unless
I don't think fantasies
have...
are the root of all evil. I think fantasies give you something to be excited about, something to look forward to.
It's not reality. It's just...
Okay, yeah. Clearly her reality is something that is not working for her.
Okay, say that, and not, the person at work can do exactly what I think our marriage is missing.
I didn't say that, though.
Just,
you just added that.
No, you alluded to that. I see somebody at work that I think I'm more attracted to, or whatever you said. Okay, attraction is one thing, or sexually you don't think your husband is doing it, and maybe this person can. But if you haven't gone there, it's just a fantasy.
No, but I think we're missing the point, which is being in a space where you can be open and honest about what your feelings are about somebody else, whether they're a coworker, who, regardless, or even the fact that I'm in a relationship or marriage where this isn't really working for me. Right. And which goes to a larger point of, do you have to stay in a relationship and marriage that isn't working for you sexually, emotionally, on many different levels, right? People are in marriages and relationships that for whatever reason, they don't feel compelled to walk away from.
Right. It becomes like Marriage Inc. Incorporated. It becomes more like a business, if I'm honest. It's like, I've been in it so long, we got to do this, we got to pay these bills, we got to do this, we got to do that. And sometimes some stuff is lost, but it's up to you to figure out what that thing is. Is it salvageable? Is it something you want to keep your investment in? There's a lot of, questions that you can ask yourself, but only you two know. So yeah, we went from lending money to where we are now.
No, I mean, listen, this is a part of the conversation. I'm just kind of connected dots, but at the end of the day, this is what it is. All right, I am going to to pull up the question because we have an Ask
Pull it
April
up.
and Royale that I think I missed last week. So I want to make sure I get this one in this week. Where is it? She did not say whether she wanted me to mention her name or not, so I'm going to do this as anonymous.
Okay.
She said, my question for you is, how do I get my husband to care for me mentally? He is wonderful for my physical, but my mental state is lacking. I can't go to him about something because of his response.
Did she give you an example?
She did not give me an example.
Her mental, I don't know.
I'm a little, just a reminder.
Is he not supportive of her?
How do I get to my husband to care for me mentally? What does it mean to care for someone mentally? How do I care for you mentally? How am I good for your mental state? Like, he's good for me physically. So is she talking about on an intimate level? Does she feel protected? But
I'm gonna say, how do you care for me mentally? By checking in. Are you okay? Is there anything on your mind? Is there anything I can help you with? When I give you like my aspirations, like I have so many things on my plate right now. Are you supportive of it? Do you see the vision? Are you there to, basically giving me the support that I need? Are you encouraging me? Are you my biggest cheerleader? Are you, are you listening? Are you listening? I find a lot of time women have a lot of aspirations, and sometimes it may be overwhelming for the husband or the significant other. But I say, help yourself. Like, whatever mental that you need to do for yourself as a woman to survive, you have to give it to yourself.
Self-care.
Because sometimes people don't even realize they're doing it. So that's why I did a bunch of tips over the summer about self-care. Uplifting yourself, getting massages, meditating, surrounding yourself with other like-minded women, finding a group to join that is an uplifting group. And if you've already mentioned it to your husband and he's still not doing it, then maybe he just doesn't have that quality. Maybe he's doing it. Maybe he thinks he's doing it and you're not seeing it. So really check in with him and make sure that you're on the same page, because I'm quite sure if you told him that, he'll be like, what? What do you mean? I'm here. Most men, I'm here. That doesn't mean that you're here. You're here, like you said, physically, but are you here? Do you know me? Do you know the things I'm going through? My hormones are changing. I'm changing as a woman. I'm changing every day. Are you checked in? Do you know who I am? Do you know what I want? Do you know what my 5-year looks like? My 5-year plan, what's on my bucket list? Do you know me? That's what I'm assuming she's talking about. But again, you start with him having that conversation, and if you're not getting it, you may have to self-medicate in a way, meaning do it yourself. Make sure you're mentally okay for yourself, and then I think you'll be good for everyone else. Sometimes they may not be able to give you that one thing. I don't know if that's a deal breaker for you.
I don't know. I'm not going to try to. I'm going to let you have the last word on that one, because he's not here for me mentally. I still have to.
That's just my take on that very
that
vague question. I tried to put it in what I think. I could be totally wrong, but mentally opens up a whole, can of worms. So that's how I would answer it. And that's all I got for that one.
All right. Well, that is, I think, all we're going to lend to that one. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Be sure to tell a friend to tune in. Hit the share button, leave a comment, like it, love it, hug it, do whatever you need to do. But it's been another wonderful episode of After I Do, and we will see you guys on the next episode.
Bye.
All right, we're out.